Isang masayang pagbati na may ngiti sa aking mga labi. Naghahanap ba kayo ng makakatuwang sa pagre-review ng inyong anak? Meron yan sa DepEd. Ang ETUlay online tutorial ay libre at handog ng ating kagawaran sa pangunguna ng OUA ICTS EdTech. Ito ay isang proyektong makatutulong sa mga mag-aaral, katuwang ang mga magulang o kasama sa kani-kanilang tahanan para masagutan at maunawaan ang mga modules. Hangad din ng programang ETUlay ang matulungan ang ating mga guro sa kanilang mga blended learning classes. Ang ating ETUlay ay mula kinder hanggang senior high school. Bukod sa academics, meron din tayong mga special programs gaya ng All is Wellness, Reading and Math Remediation, Storytelling, Mommy Tech Talks, Classes sa Gramatika, Speech Class, Financial Literacy, at marami pang iba. Pinalawig din ng ETUlay ang ating Alive program para sa mga mag-aaral mula grade 1 hanggang grade 3. Gayon din ay mayroon tayong ALS program at SPED tutorials na makasisigurong makakamit ng lahat ang inclusive education. May SPED hotline na rin para sa inyong mga katanungan patungkol sa special education. Kaya, subaybayan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, mula 9:00 ng umaga hanggang 7:00 ng gabi ang ating ETUlay. Sa ating pagtutulungan, maiaangat natin ang bawat isa. Ating itutulay ang pagkatuto upang di mapigil ang pag-aaral ng kabataang Pilipino. Itulay natin ito, sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive, and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our module, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Ayan. Hello, good afternoon, Tutor Lee.
Good afternoon to all our online learners. Okay, so,
ayan. So isang maulan na hapon po sa ating lahat. Umuulan na po dito sa Pangasinan. Yan, so hopefully ang ating signal
maging okay ang ating internet
stable naman. Okay, so we are now in quarter 4. Konting kembot na lang, Tutor Arlene, matatapos na pala ang ating school year, no? So looking forward tayo sa school year 2021 to 2022. Yan. So for today, we will be discussing on finding the answers to the research questions. Yan, kami po ni Tutor Arlene ulit ay nagbabalik. And I believe ready na sila, Tutor Arlene, no? Para simulan na natin ang ating research journey. Yes, for today. So ano pa ang ating objectives for today, Tutor Arlene?
Okay, for our learning objectives, number 1, define data analysis. And number 2, classify each of the ways on data analysis.
Okay, so naku, konti na lang talaga. Nasa data analysis na tayo.
City North High School.
Okay po, so good afternoon po. Keep on sharing no ang ating live for today para po mas malawak pa ang marating ng ating 3 eyes. Okay, so we have here 2 types of calculator. I believe no, Tutor Arlene, lahat ng mga estudyante ngayon alam ang pinagkaiba nitong dalawang calculators na to. So commonly, bawat isa yata sa mga senior high school students natin merong taglay nitong mga to. Yan. Now, ano nga ba ang pinagkaiba nila? What if itong simpleng mathematical na formula na ito ang ating isusolve? Alin kaya sa tingin ninyo, no, mga dear learner researchers, ang pwede nating gamitin? Actually, pwede yan both, no? Pero sa tingin ninyo, alin yung basic na pwede ninyong gamitin? Yung una ba or yung pangalawa? Pwede kayong mag-comment sa ating comment section, no?
Yes.
Para maki-interact kayo so that mas maganda ang ating episode as we
Type your
interact
comments sa box.
Ayan, okay, so tignan natin, Tutor Arlene, no? Kapag ganitong basic lang
Pinagkaiba ng dalawang nasa picture na
pwede natin
calculator.
gamitin po yung ating basic lang ng calculator. Actually, Tutor Arlene, no, kadalasan natin nakikita to sa mga tindahan at saka sa palengke, ginagamit ng ating mga
Pinag-compute nila yan.
yes, sa ating mga tindera, no, sa palengke. Kasi minsan nakakalito nga naman kapag math na yung pinag-uusapan natin. Mas maganda ng sigurado. Okay. How about if ang atin namang isusolve ay ganito na? Naku, ito na yung mga kinakatakutan ng
calculator ang kailangan nilang gamitin.
Makikita natin,
So,
may
anong
square
klase
root
ng
na.
calculator ng mga online learners? Okay? Pakitype ang inyong answer sa comment box. Okay?
So,
Para sila nag-good afternoon, Ma'am Tutor Tina.
siguro naman makukuha nila to, Tutor Arlene, no? Okay, so tignan nga natin kung sa tingin natin ay tama ang ating mga learners. O yan. So, pwede natin gamitin yung pangalawa. This calculator is actually known as the scientific calculator, no? So, ang scientific calculator, napakarami ng versions niyan, napakarami din ng mga functions na, no? Meron din tayong tinatawag na graphic calculator. So, napakarami na pala, Tutor Arlene, ng ating mga types of calculator. Dati, alam lang natin yung maliit na ginagawang keychain, tapos kukwentahin mo kung magkano yung baon mo, ganun lang kasimple. So, these actually, no, are considered as an instrument. Pero in terms of research, pwede rin natin na sabihin itong mga instruments na ito ay nangangailangan ng appropriate na kung ano ang gagamitin nila as a function. So just like in research, hindi tayo basta-basta yung gagamit ng instruments, but we will make sure that we have yung appropriate instruments natin, katulad ng ginawa natin kanina, no? But calculators have the same function. But yung isa mas advanced in terms of yung function. Ang function naman nila generally is to compute, right, Tutor Arlene? So ito ngayon, nakadepende sa kung ano yung i-input natin. So as you can see doon sa dalawa natin na type ng isosolve, meron yung mas advanced. Nangangailangan ng mas advanced din na type of calculator. So in here, why do we need to do that? Yung humanap ng appropriate instruments because we want to gather an accurate data. Accurate data kasi kapag wrong yung in-input mo or wrong yung instrument na ginamit mo sa input mo, it can lead you to a wrong data also. Kailangan accurate dapat. So we need to find an appropriate instrument. In research, yan, no? So, kailangan natin hanapin yung tinatawag natin. Yes, tama, Tutor Arlene, no? Yung statistical analysis techniques. Na kung saan nakadepende yan sa kung anong type ng research ang ating gagamitin at kung ano yung mga variables ng research natin na gagawin. Okay, so in that statistical analysis natin, it is actually under what we call data analysis, na kung saan ang data analysis actually requires different techniques. Yan, so 'di ba sabi nga natin different techniques used by different researchers. Bawat researcher meron silang kanya-kanyang technique, may kanya-kanya silang atake on how to do the analysis of the data. But just make sure na ito ay dapat tatandaan natin. Itong question na to dapat isa-isip natin. Ito kasi yung magiging pinaka-soul ng ating research. Will this answer the research questions? Kung ang answer sa tanong mong ito ay yes, then pursue the data analysis you want to pursue. But if this specific question, ang yung answer dito ay no, baka it's time for you to change the specific type of analysis na meron ka to be able to find kung ano yung makakapagbigay sa'yo ng accurate data. So yan ang napakalaking burden, no, sa ating mga researchers kasi magkamali mali ka sa data analysis mo, automatic your paper will be such a waste, no? So parang magiging basura ang tingin ng ibang mga researchers sa research natin pag mali ang pag-analyze natin ng data. And to be able to understand better kung ano nga ba ang data analysis, let's do
So,
learning task number 1.
Okay, so
Okay, ready
ano
na ang
yung
ating
learning
mga-
task 1, Gibertina?
Yes, okay. Thank you,
Oh,
Tutor
ano yan?
Arlene. No? So, for the direction, you need to choose the letter of which you think is the correct answer. So, letter only lang naman po. Number 1, these are ideas or categories that emerge from a grouping of lower level data points. Ano kaya ito? Is it A, individual interview, B, questionnaire, C, observation, D, surveys, or letter E, themes? Ano kaya ito? So sabi dito, categories coming from a lower level data point. So pakitype po sa ating comment section kung ano sa tingin ninyo ang correct answer. Yan. So good afternoon po sa ating 27 viewers. Keep on sharing po no, para mas marami pang matulungan natin. Okay, so may mga answer tayo, no? Yan na, may letter D.
D, sabi na.
So wait pa tayo sa ibang answer, no? Before we reveal, yan. Meron ding letter D. Mukhang letter D ang kanilang answers dito, Tutor Arlene. So tingnan natin, Tutor Arlene, kung tama nga ba sila. Okay. Oh, yan.
Okay,
Ako.
so
Medyo nahirapan ang ating mga learners. Okay, so for number 1, it's themes daw. So what do we mean by themes? These are actually yung mga ideas na nag-emerge from those pool of ideas and facts. Ito yung ginagamit natin, no? Kaya meron tayong tinatawag sa research, specifically in the qualitative research, yung theming. Themes. We need to create themes. Ito yung mga subcategories, no, na nabuo natin from those pool of answers or responses from the respondents. Ito yung ginagamit natin ngayon na parang main topic out of those na napakarami na mga diverse na mga responses. Ang tawag natin doon ay themes. Okay, medyo nahirapan agad sila sa number 1, Tutor Arlene, no? Number 2, it is a research method used for collecting data from a predefined group of respondents to gain information and insights into various topics of interest. Yan. So ano kaya yan? Individual interview ba yan? Questionnaire ba yan? Observation, surveys, or themes? Yan. So ano kaya ito? Take note of doon sa mga context clues natin. No?
Okay,
Yan.
type your
So,
answer on the comment box.
Okay, so meron tayo, naku, may mga humahabol pa tayo, no?
Sa number 1.
So, number 1 pa, Tutor Arlene, mukhang delay ang ating internet connection sa other places.
Ayan,
Yan,
meron na
meron
lang
tayong
dito ang number
letter D.
2, Tutor Tina.
Okay, so may letter D tayo. Yan, naku, wala ng letter D.
Letter D. Okay.
Okay, tama nga ba sila, Tutor Arlene? Tignan natin.
So, reveal na yung tama. Okay, tama. Tama ko po
Yan,
sila.
tama pala sila. Nako, yan. So, number 2 is surveys pala, no? Sabi dito, it's a method used for collecting data doon sa mga predefined group of respondents. Diba? As you can see, lalo na ngayon, no? Napakarami yung nagsisurvey sa atin at iba't ibang mga survey ang lumalabas sa ating online platforms such as yung Facebook. Tinitignan kung ano nga ba yung mga ganap ngayon at ano nga ba yung kadalasang sinesurvey ngayon, no? So in terms of politics na medyo lalayo tayo dyan, no? So since it's a politics. So dyan lumalabas talaga yung survey. That is from yung sa napakaraming mga responses ng mga individuals na inilahok natin. Kinukuha natin yung ideas, yan. So ginigay natin yung information kung ano nga ba sa tingin natin yung mga talagang na number 1 or yung talaga namang majority ng kanilang mga binibigay na sagot. Number 3.
Okay, number 3.
Yan. It deals with an actual encounter with respondent in a particular activities of the day. So, ito, actual encounter. So, paano naman yun kapag actual encounter? Ano kaya ang possible na answer dito? Is it A, individual interview, B, questionnaire, C, observation, D, surveys, or E, themes? Yan. So, alin kaya dito, no? Yung particular activities of the day. Let's say, for example, si Tutor Arlene, may activity siya for today. Ayan. So, you want to know kung ano nga ba yung mga activity ni Tutor Arlene. Anong pwedeng gamitin?
So, number 3. Letter A daw ba, Tutor Tina?
Okay, may letter A tayo, no? Tignan nga natin. kung tama ba, may letter C, may A. Mukhang hati ang ating mga ano, no? Ang ating mga learners kung ano nga ba ang correct answer. So, reveal na natin, Tutor Arlene.
Yes.
Wow,
Okay,
it's
that's letter C,
observation.
observation.
Okay, so it
Okay,
deals pala with an actual encounter. So medyo na siguro nalilito ang ating mga learners, no? Kasi may possibility na ito din ay answer. Like yung for example, individual interview, pwede rin naman, no? But ang gusto nating malaman dito, no? Kasi sabi dito, no, in a particular activities of the day. So how will you know yung kanyang activities of the day? That is through observation. So, kailangan you need to look for the respondent and then you analyze kung paano yung behavior ng respondent, how he or she react within the day according to the activities he or she perform. Yan. So, yun ang ating role ngayon, magiging observer. Yeah? And that is under what we call observation. So, kadalasan ginagamit itong observation sa qualitative research in which gumagamit tayo, let's say for example, we want to have a case analysis. Yan. So, pwede natin gamitin yung observation na yan. Okay, number 4. These are series of questions and other prompts for the purpose of gathering information from the respondents. So, ito naman, series of questions, meaning to say, hindi lang isa, no? So, maraming questions ito at saka mga iba pang prompts na kung saan yung mga responses nila ay magiging data ng ating mga researcher in conducting their research. Ano kaya ang ating answer dito? Individual interview ba? Questionnaire? Observation? Surveys? Or themes? Yan. So, tignan natin ang kanilang mga answer, no? Tutor Arlene.
Okay.
Ako, may number 5 na agad. Tutor Arlene, nasa 4 pa lang tayo. Hindi pa na akong 5.
Nagkamali lang siguro ng
Points na, no? Okay. So, ang daming nag-answer ng
na ba? Sagot ng mga ang karamihan ng online learners natin, Tutor Tina? Tama ba sila? Okay, question. Letter B.
Tama pala.
Online learners natin.
Ayan, tama sila, Tutor Arlene. No, letter B pala, questionnaire. So, when we have yung mga series of questions, automatically, it's for the questionnaire. So, questionnaire, di ba, in a questionnaire, napakaraming questions, be it from 5 items, 10 items, and so on, until makuha natin yung gusto nating data from the respondent. So, eto kadalasan, no, ginagamit talaga ito sa research ng mga students natin kasi sa tingin nila, eto yung pinakamabilis or beneficial to them kasi ito yung kadalasan talaga na ginagamit na hindi masyadong matrabaho, no, Tutor Arlene? Kasi you prepare a set of questionnaire, then you have it undergone doon sa ating validation team, sa reliability test, and then once na na-approve na yan, pwede na tayo ngayon mag-conduct ng mga series of surveys then through questionnaire. Ayan. So, sa questionnaire natin, ano ba ang dapat na ipo-point natin dito, Tutor Arlene? No? Dapat makuha natin lahat ng information na meron doon sa statement of the problem natin. Hindi tayo magbibigay ng question sa questionnaire na walang kinalaman sa statement of the problem.
Related sa topic.
Yes, it will become hindi na siya appropriate na mga questions kasi hindi makakapagbigay ng accurate data. So sabi natin kanina, no? And for number 5, yan. It is a conversation between the interviewer and the interviewee to gather relevant information using prepared questions. Ito, may interaction na, no? So, naku, may clue na sila dito. Sigurado ako makuha nila to Tutor Arlene. Between, no, sa interviewer at saka interviewee. So, meron talaga silang face-to-face interaction. So, ano kaya ang appropriate dito? Individual interview ba? Questionnaire? Observation? Survey ba? Or themes? Ano kaya sa tingin mo?
Mula ng letter A, ang number 5 answers ng mga online learners, Tutor Tina.
Ako, may mga letter A. I-review na natin, Tutor Arlene.
Yes.
Okay. Yan, naku. Buti na lang talaga nakuha nilang lahat, Tutor Arlene, no? Kasi ito na lang yung natitira. Okay, so when we say, no, a conversation or an interaction between the two, yung ating interviewer at saka interviewee, that is with the individual interview. So, sa interview kasi ang kagandahan nito, no, Tutor Arlene, you can have yung accurate data na talagang fresh from the words of yung ating ini-interview or yung yung interviewee natin. And at the same time, nalilesen din dito yung misinterpretation ng data. Kasi ito, kung hindi maintindihan yung question, pwedeng i-explain pa agad-agad impromptu ng ating interviewer so that yung gusto nating response from the interviewee, maibibigay niya talaga sa atin accurately. So, ano nga ba itong mga ginawa natin? Yan. So, before that, before we have done yung ating
Good job.
lesson, good
Online
job.
learning
Sila ay mga
natin.
task 1 completer na for today. Congratulations! Nako, yung mga ginawa natin actually is under data analysis. So ano nga ba itong data analysis na to? Yung ginawa natin actually, yun ay mga methods kung saan pwede nating makuha ang data in which na mag-undergo dito sa tinatawag nating data analysis. No? May dalawa tayong word dito, data and analysis. So meaning to say, it is a way of simplifying numerous and wordy data to a meaningful story. Para ka ditong nag-storytell. Kumbaga, meron kang napakalaki or napakahabang kwento. But, you need to find or you need to just give or to make, i-tell ninyo yung gist lang talaga nung story. Di ba parang kapag ka magtatanong tayo sa story, Tutor Arlene, no? Story about si Cinderella. Ano bang tumatatak sa isip ninyo? Yung glass shoe, di ba?
Okay.
Yan. So, si Cinderella, isang from being yung inaapi-api na alipusta na ng kanyang family, no? Yung sa step family niya. Then, here comes the Prince Charming. Yan. So, yung mga yon, yung mga sa haba-habang story na yon, meron kang natandaan, meron kang gist na kapag ibinigay mo or ibinahagi mo, automatic alam na agad ng mga readers mo. And that's what we call data analysis. From those numerous na napakadami talaga na numbers at saka na mga letters or words ng mga responses nila, you need to do it creatively and meaningfully na mag-create ka ng themes or kaya mag-create ka ng ideas from those pool na kung saan eto ngayon yung i-interpret mo later using kung ano man yung iyong gagamiting ways of interpretation. Pwedeng Likert scale, if it is a quantitative research, pwede rin naman na themes natin sa theming ang ating gagamitin. Okay. It's actually a process of converting multitude of data into smaller group of sensible data. Sabi nga ni Tutor Arlene before sa ating mga previous episode, napakarami talagang mga responses ng ating mga nakukuha. Pero hindi yun lahat ilalagay natin. So, kung may magkakaparehas na tayo, then you create, anong theme yung pagkakapareho nila, yung commonality nila. Hindi lang dapat na magaling ka dito sa tinatawag nating interpretation, no? So magaling ka rin dapat dito mag-categorize. Yan. Kaya nga ang research talaga, lahat ng subject pwede. Hindi lang porket math lang, or science lang dito sa research. Lahat ng subject cover niya pa. Kaya dapat magaling kayo na mag-analyze talaga ng data. Yan. So, data analysis actually needs to undergo yung tinatawag natin process in which yung data natin ay isa-summarize natin or summary niya, no? Kaya sabi natin kanina, dapat magaling talaga yung kumuha ng ideas from those pool. Then we have different types, no? Kung paano ba natin siya isa-summarize or i-interpret later or kung paano natin siya i-present actually kasi after the data analysis comes the presentation ng data mo. So paano mo i-present? So we have textual presentation such as this, the example. Wherein i-present mo siya through words, yan, through sentence, ibibigay mo yung information na nakalap mo from the respondents. Then you can also have a tabular form. Tabular form in the sense that we have what we call table. Table na kung saan andyan na. Hindi mo na kailangan magbasa ng pagkahaba-haba pa ng mga words or sentence. But rather, makikita mo lang yung table. Oh, ito pala yung count ng from this specific area, agriculture, education, and so on. So we also have yung tinatawag natin na graphical presentation. Yes, you're ready, no? May iba't iba tayong graphs.
Yes.
Bar graph, yes, tama. Tutor Arlene, may line graph tayo, pie graph, pictograph, marami, as in marami. But it's up to you kung ano ang sa tingin mo na appropriate.
And then, wala makikita yung buuan. Kaya nga, summary. Summary. No?
Yes, and actually, no, Tutor Arlene, ang pinaka mahuhusay na researchers at ang pinaka magagandang paper talaga ay binubuo nitong tatlong presentation na to. May textual sila, meron silang tabular, at may graphical din sila. Kumbaga, it's somewhat binigay mo na lahat ng pwede nila makita. Kasi ang mga readers natin, Tutor Arlene, no, kapag super duper haba, puro words, ang tendency is hindi na masyadong maintindihan kasi iisa-isahin niya pa. I-recall niya pa yung nabasa niya, but kapag meron tayong representations dito such as the pictures, tables, mas madali sa kanila na maintindihan. And this now can yield answers to the research question. Ipapakita mo dito sa mga summary na ito kung ano nga ba yung mga answers dun sa research question na meron ka sa statement of the problem. So why do we need to analyze data? Bakit nga ba? Because an analyzed data cannot give a clear picture. So magulo, malabo, parang kayo lang, no? Malabo, hindi natin maintindihan. So parang kayo, parang hindi. Yan. So kailangan meron kayong tawag, ay label kayo. Yan, Tutor Arlene. Ako, si Tutor Arlene, nakarelate na naman dito. Okay, so dapat meron tayo dito talagang clear na, no, na patutunguhan. And well-analyzed data actually will reveal patterns. Yan. So, itong patterns na to, no, it can be interesting and worth exploring. Meaning to say, pwede ito na gamitin din ng ating mga future researchers as their basis. Ay, ito pala, ang ganda naman itong paper na to. This paper is actually similar to what I am doing right now, and I believe I can make this as my reference. Yan. So, napadali ang mga maghahanap na mga researchers natin kung anong references ang gagamitin nila.
Para sa mga future researchers.
Yes. And organize and analyze data can guide the researcher to find patterns. Yan. Provide shape and beauty to the story they want to tell. Remember that in research, yung research paper nyo, actually you are telling a story. Diba? Yan. So, para kang nagkukwento, para kang nag-narrate ng mga findings or ng mga happenings na kung saan ito yung binibigyan mo ng answers. So that is now yung beauty ng marunong ka mag-analyze talaga at mag-interpret ng data kasi ma-hold mo yung inyong mga readers. Yan, di ba? Ganoon naman kapag ang story is medyo talaga nakaka-relate kayo, no? Talaga namang tutok na hukuk ka, or in a K-drama, pag ang ganda-ganda, nakaka-relate yan. Si Tutor Arlene, nanonood ng Netflix yan. So kapag ka talagang yung upuan ni Tutor Arlene, yan. Antok na si Tutor Arlene, pero nanonood pa rin ng Netflix. Yan. So mga ganon, di ba? Dapat ganon din sa ating research. And to be able to understand naman yung different data analysis, yan. Let's do learning task 2. Tutor Arlene, take it away.
So, for the direction, identify the appropriate statistical technique being described in each number. So, choose the shape of your choice. Okay. Okay, for the learning task 2. Okay, we have here number 1. Blank is used to determine a part of the total or whole. It also means per 100. Okay. So, it's percentage, mean, standard deviation. Okay, so circle, triangle, and rectangle ang inyong ilagay na sagot sa comment box. So, ulitin ko yung number 1, blank is used to determine a part of the total or whole. It also means per 100. Okay. So, andyan yung keyword na per 100. Percentage ba ito? Mean ba ito? Or standard deviation? So, rectangle for standard deviation, mean for triangle, and circle for percentage. May nag-answer na for number 1.
Tutor Arlene. Yeah. So, mukhang pare-pareha sila ng mga answers.
Circle. Ang galing ng mga online learners natin. Ay nag-type na naman ng answer na percentage. Tama ba, Tutor Tina? Reveal na natin ang answer. Okay, percentage. Yes. Because yung per 100 times 100%, yan ang percentage. So, used to determine the part of the total or whole. Okay, yan. Tama sila. Yan, ang dami. Okay, next, number 2. Blank is used to find the middlemost value of your list of values. Okay. And this can be obtained by adding all the values and divide the obtained sum to the number of values. Okay. So, is it again percentage for circle? Okay, triangle is mean. Okay. And then for the rectangle, standard deviation. Okay. So, tama ba? Ano ang sagot for number 2? Use to find the middlemost value of your list of values. Okay. And this can be
Ayan,
obtained by
may
adding all the
nag-answer na.
values to the number of values. Okay, triangle. Ang sagot nila, Tutor Tina. Ayan na.
Okay,
Sunod-sunod
tignan
na,
natin.
triangle. Triangle, tama? Okay, mean. So, ito yung mean. Yung mean average used to find the middlemost of value middle. Yung sa kalagitnaan, pag in-add natin lahat, and then in-average natin, we can get the mean. Yes. Okay, dividing then obtain sum to the number of values. Okay, next, number 3. Okay, we go to number 3. Blank is used to show the spread of data around the mean. Okay. So, ito ba ay circle for percentage, triangle for mean, and rectangle for the standard deviation. Okay. Blank is used to show the spread of data around the mean. Okay, so for number 3, okay, okay,
Ano,
ilagay ang inyong answers sa comment box.
may humahabol pa sa number 2, Tutor
number
Arlene. Mukhang nadidelay ang ating
Ng triangle
internet
nga.
connection.
Okay. Ayan, number 3, triangle.
Meron na.
Okay.
Tutor Arlene, mukhang hati ang kanilang hati ang
may,
idea.
may rectangle, may triangle. Triangle
May
pero
iba-iba.
square. Triangle square yung kanila. Okay. Okay.
Reveal na natin ba, Tutor Arlene?
Yes. Ano ba, Tutor Tina? Okay, standard deviation. So, this is used to show the spread of data around the mean. Okay, there. Okay, tama. Okay, so tama din yung ating mga online learners. Tinype na nila yung rectangle. Number 4.
Oo
Let's go
nga
to
eh.
number 4. Blank is used to estimate the strength of the relationship between two quantitative variables. So, again, circle for hypothesis testing, triangle for regression analysis, and rectangle for correlation analysis. So, pakilagay ang inyong answers sa comment box. What shape is the answer for blank is used to estimate the strength of the relationship between two quantitative variables. Okay, number 3 pa lang sila. So, medyo delay lang tayo.
May
Yan, may
may mga answer na, Tutor Arlene.
ang sagot. Mayroon ding rectangle or type na niya yung standard deviation. Number 4 pa lang yun. Okay.
Merong may iba-iba na naman sila ng idea, Tutor Arlene. May,
Ano pa yung
naku,
tama
may
talaga?
naligaw na standard deviation.
Oo naman.
Ayan, so reveal na natin, Tutor Arlene.
Yes. Ayan, rectangle. That is the correlation analysis. So we used to estimate the strength of the relationship between two quantitative variables. Between two quantitative variables, nandiyan na yung keyword. That is for the correlation analysis. Right, Tutor Dina? Okay, next
Yes.
number 5. Yeah. Okay, meron pa. Blank is used to explain the relationship between dependent and independent variables. Okay, hypothesis testing for circle, regression analysis for triangle, and correlation analysis for rectangle. Okay, again, see, tingnan natin ang kanilang sagot sa comment box, mga online learners natin. Okay, ayan na, number 5 is circle. Okay. Tama ba? Circle. O, yan. Sunod-sunod na circle na ang sagot nila. Tutor Tina, yan.
Oh,
The answer is regression analysis triangle. Okay, regression analysis is used to explain the relationship between dependent and independent variables. So you are going to analyze the difference, the relationship of dependent and independent variables. Okay,
Yan, so
so yeah.
additional lang, no, Tutor Arlene, no, baka malito ang ating mga learners sa pinagkaiba. When we are talking of regression analysis, sabi ni Tutor Arlene nga, no, so it is used to explain ano ba yung relationship between the dependent and independent variables natin. Kasi relationship din ito. But in here, you need to explain kung ano nga ba yung relationship na
Further,
meron
explain
sila.
further.
But when we talk of correlation, we mean here the
Sabi
strength.
naman,
Gaano nga ba at kalawak or ano ba yung level ng relationship between those two variables. So, strength and this one is the
and
explanation
correlation.
naman ng
Okay,
relationship. Yan ang
correlation
pinagkaiba ni
analysis.
regression at saka ni correlation.
Okay, may
Okay.
regression.
Naku,
Okay.
makukuha na nila ito,
Number
Tutor Arlene
6.
talaga.
Meron pa. Okay, blank is used to determine some quantity under a given assumption. The outcome of the test tells you whether the assumption holds or whether the assumption has been violated. Okay, so ano ba ito? Okay, again, hypothesis testing, regression analysis, triangle, and correlation analysis. Again, ulitin ko yung question number 6. Blank is used to determine some quantity under a given assumption. Okay, the outcome of the test tells you whether the assumption holds or whether the assumption has been violated. Okay, so andyan yung assumption
Yan.
na hold or na-violate ang assumption. Okay, so hypothesis
Ang
testing
dami
ba,
nilang
regression analysis, or correlation analysis?
Ayan, pare-parehas na sila ng
So that's
answer, Tutor Arlene.
or hypothesis testing daw sila lahat. Okay.
Oh,
Circle nga
tama
ba
nga ba ito?
Tina? Ayun, tama sila. Hypothesis testing. Okay. So the outcome of the test tells you whether the assumption holds or whether the assumption has been violated. Okay. And meron din tayo ito yung sa hypothesis testing na yung null and the alternate. Ano pa? Determine the quantity under a given assumption. Yan na nga kung na-violate uh, or na-hold nga ba yung assumption. Ay, ng hypothesis at saka assumption. Hypothesis is an educated guess, right? It's just the same also as the assumption, yung ina-assume kung ano yung mangyayari. Okay. Kaya nga, may hypothesis testing. Okay, may
Yes,
question.
Opo. And ano no, Tutor Arlene, kadalasan ginagamit talaga natin itong hypothesis testing, lalo na kapag ka sa field talaga ng science, no? Kasi dito we do experimental, no? And quasi-experimental natin na ginagamit. So talaga namang
ba
we
yung
need to find kung tama ba ang assumption natin, and we need to test yung ating hypothesis, no, to be able to provide kung ano nga ba talaga yung answer sa ating research question. So sabi ni Tutor Arlene, may null hypothesis tayo and we have the alternative. So hindi ano yun those two types of hypothesis are actually
kailangan natin proof.
yes, kay ano sila reverse, magkabaliktaran sila, no? So, kapag in-accept mo yung isa, automatic i-reject mo yung isa. Kapag in-reject mo naman, let's say for example, si null, ang i-accept mo is si alternative. Okay, so, nako,
Okay,
yan
so
na.
good job sila lahat dito. Yung mga ating mga online learners, task 2 completers. Okay. So, meron pa ba, Tutor Tina? Okay, so for quantitative research data analysis, okay. So, quantitative research data analysis, we use the descriptive, okay, research and the inferential research. When we say descriptive, okay, it is used to explore the data collected, to summarize and describe it, according to Koch's 2013. Okay. For the inferential, it is used to find predictions, test hypotheses, and find interpretations, generalizations, and conclusions. Okay. So yan ang definitions ng descriptive and inferential. So when using the quantitative research data analysis, when we will use the descriptive, we are going to explore the data collected to summarize and describe it. For inferential naman, okay, we are going to use to find the predictions. Okay? Test the hypothesis. Yan nga. Meron tayong hypothesis. okay, in a statement, and find the interpretations, the generalizations, and conclusions from our research data. Okay? So, dito na yung mga data tables, mga interpretations, and then we will arrive to generalizations and conclusions. So, mag-prove na natin ngayon yung ating hypothesis kung tama ba yung mga statement natin from our research data analysis for quantitative research data. Okay. So, kaya nga
Yes.
meron tayong data tables. Tutor Tina. Okay.
Yes, ayan. So, additional din no, Tutor Arlene. So, kaya siya tinawag na descriptive because you have to describe. So, you need to
Yes.
describe in a form of yung summarize na
Ni
texts or kaya pwede rin natin no, yung sinabi natin kanina, yung
paragraph
mga
forms.
types natin ng presentation,
Mm.
wherein ang role nito is to describe the data itself. While sa inferential naman, kaya nga siya inferential, we have the inference, no? So, meaning to say dito, we need to find predictions. Ano nga ba yung pinipredict ng research mo? And of course, you need to test the hypothesis. Yung hypothesis mo, ano nga ba doon ang i-accept or i-reject mo? In which you need now to interpret and give the generalizations to form
And
yung conclusions and recommendations, which is
yes.
actually the latter part ng ating research. So, ulitin
So,
natin sa
matatapos na.
quantitative, may dalawa tayong type, the descriptive and inferential.
Okay. So, how to determine the appropriate data analysis for my research? Ito yung tanong ng mga learners natin.
Yes.
Ano ba ang gagamiting data analysis for research? So, based from out the topic, and then, okay, so you should know your variables. Okay, number 1. Okay, so this may be univariate, isa lang na variable, may variate, dalawang variable, or multivariate. Okay, marami kayong variables. Okay, maraming variables, multivariate. Okay, and then number 2, identify the scale. Okay, okay, nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio. If you say nominal, okay, you have one, ordinal, okay, and then the interval and the ratio, okay. Alternate ba yung inyong scale or may ratio ba siya? Okay, ang determine yun ng inyong mga data analysis. Okay. So, test of relationship between two variables. We have the Pearson's for the parametric, the phi coefficient and parametric for nominal and dichotomous variables, and the Spearman's, okay, ratio parametric for ordinal variable. Okay, for the test of difference between the two sets of from one group, okay, ito yung gagamitan mo ng t-test for the dependent samples, parametric, and also the Mach-Nehmer change test, non-parametric for nominal and dichotomous variables. For we also have the Wilcoxon signed rank test for the non-parametric for ordinal variable. Okay, test of difference between the two data sets from two different groups. Okay, meron din tayong t-test for the independent samples for parametric. Okay, take note kanina yung sa dependent. This one is for the independent samples. Okay, two-way chi-square for the non-parametric, for nominal variable, the Mann-Whitney test for the non-parametric, for ordinal variable. Okay, test for more than two population means. At dito na yung analysis of variance or the ANOVA for the parametric. Then the test for the strength of relation, effect or impact. This is the regression for the parametric. Okay. So, meron pa ba tutor?
Ayan. So,
And
dagdag natin, no? Kasi baka, yan, itong mga ito ay actually yung mga, yan, binibigay natin na mga pwede nilang gamitin. Let's say, for example, you are going to determine yung relationship between two variables, so meaning to say they bivariate. So, pwede yung Pearson's, pwede yung pi coefficient, pwede rin naman yung Spearman's law. Pero, you are going to analyze dito sa tatlo na to, dahil ito yung pare-parehong test for relationship, alin sa mga ito yung appropriate na gagamitin mo. Let's say your variables are actually parametric. So ano ba yung parametric natin, no? So parametric actually are based on assumptions, no, about doon sa distribution of population mo from which the sample was taken. So tinake mo siya from the population, tama? Sample is actually taken as a representative of the population. So ang assumptions ngayon na meron ka is under ng parametric. Pag hindi ka naman or pagka naman sinabi nating non-parametric naman na statistics, hindi na siya actually nagbe-base sa tinatawag nating assumption. That is meaning to say, yung data mo pwede mo siyang i-collect from the sample na hindi nagfo-follow ng specific na distribution. So meaning to say, iba yung pinagkuhanan mo. So that is non-parametric. Yan. So sabi dito na for ordinal variables. So yung isa for nominal ay dichotomous variables. So yun yung pinagkaiba. So the test of difference naman kapag two data sets, alin ang gagamitin mo? Meron tayong given dito. Now determine if it is parametric or non-parametric. Kapag parametric, then you go for the t-test for dependent samples. Kapag ka non-parametric, then you proceed kung ano ba sa dalawang ito ang gagamitin mo. And so as with itong mga, itong mga given pa na ito, until doon tayo kapag ang minimeasure mo is strength or relationship, ano bang pwede mong gamitin? Sabi natin kanina, no, strength of relationships. Yan, so pwede natin gamitin ang regression. Kapag ka naman doon sa more than 2 population means tayo, pwede natin gamitin itong useful na ANOVA or yung analysis of variance. Kaya nga variance, varies, marami. Yan. So ito yung mga samples ng mga data analysis na pwede natin gamitin. Yung mga statistical na methods natin or tools natin rather sa nagagamitin natin. Then, Tutor Arlene?
Also the inductive and the deductive for the qualitative research data analysis. When we say inductive, this is from the, for the content analysis, discourse analysis, the thematic, and the narrative. Okay, so inductive this is from the specific to general, right? And for the deductive, this is from the general to specific to general. Ano? General to specific. Okay.
Okay. So, I know, nalito din tuloy pati si Tutor Arlene. So, pag inductive natin siya, meaning to say, it is from specific to general. So, you need to generalize from those fragments, from those samples, from those ideas na napakaliliit. Then, you combine it, you analyze it to create a general na inyong idea. That is inductive. When we are talking of the deductive naman, it's the opposite. Yan, tama, Tutor Arlene. Oh, so, from those large picture, from those large idea, you need to deduce. You need to make it into a small fragment or you need to have a subtopic or you need to have sub-ideas to be able to make it specific. Yan. So, yun ang pinagkaiba.
Concentrate mo talaga dun sa yung topic, yung mga research data mo. Okay. Okay. So, meron ba?
Itong apat na to, no, Tutor Arlene, ito actually yung mga ginagamit natin na type of analysis when we are talking of the qualitative research. So, we have content analysis in which we are talking on the contents. We are focusing on the contents of the responses. Then, discourse analysis also, thematic, narrative. Ito, no, commonly used natin talaga dito when we are doing qualitative is yung thematic, no, in which we are having yung tinatawag nating theming, yung themes na tinanong natin kanina sa ating learning task number 1. So from those general na ating mga informations, that this is now the process of deductive, no? Gumagawa tayo ng mga specific na mga ideas or content na kung saan nagbe-base tayo sa responses ng ating mga learners. That is under thematic. Actually, no, sa qualitative research, akala nila, Tutor Arlene, napakadali because walang numbers daw. But meron pa rin naman. Yun nga lang, hindi siya katulad ng quantitative na talagang nagre-rely tayo on the numbers itself. But in here, we are talking of the behavior. Yes. And
is qualitative and quantitative.
Yes. So, paano nga ba ang behavior ng ating mga responses, yung mga respondents natin sa questions natin? So, that is under
discuss natin mabuti para sa kanila. para maintindihan. Okay, so again, task 1 and task 2 completers ang ating mga online learners.
Good job ang
Who's
ating
not?
mga learners. Ang ating mga online learners for today. So they have achieved na naman ang task 1 at task 2. And we have unlocked na naman Tutor Arlene ang ating first 2 learning objectives. So on our next episode, no, itutuloy pa rin natin ang ating topic na ito. So meron tayong mga another learning objectives na naman na i-unlock. And congratulations for being a certified masaliksik itong ating first episode ng quarter 4. Looking forward kami ni Tutor Arlene, no, on actually having you ulit, mga learners natin sa ating susunod na episode. And for our references, yan po, pwede nyo rin silang i-visit.
Yes, ang ating mga references from
yes, yung atin pong topic. And ang ating pong official na yes, central office, ang ating quarter 2 module 5 na
starting module 5.
Yes. Okay. Yan. So again po, I am your tutor Tina.
Tutor Arlene. Yes.
So we are from SDO Pangasinan 2. So good afternoon po sa ating mga admins and specifically po sa ating SBS, Dr. Danilo Simpson, and sa ating po mga ASDSS. Okay po, good afternoon. At sa lahat po, kudos to your hard work. Yan. So ano pa ang ating lagi ibibitaw na
Sir,
ano ba?
thank you po, San Fabian National High School, mga learners also. So, upang ang kaalaman ay maging siksik, umaapaw at hitik, tayo ay manaliksik. So, research is the key to all problems. Until next meeting, next Friday ulit.
See you and keep on learning ating mga learner researchers. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag #ETUlayLevelUp. Huwag aalis ha dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!